Hi everyone, Martin here from martinsmayhem.co.uk. I hope you're all well. Today we're going to be creating this card you see here using the Hello Ladybug Stamp Set and Coordinating Punch, which I didn't have on my desk, and that's available as a bundle where you save 10% from my Stampin' Up store. So I wanted to do something really fun with this card, use lots of bright colours, and I think I achieved that, but I'm going to show you exactly how I did it today. So I'm starting off with a pool party. This is a standard top folding C6 card, which in the UK is 10.5 by 14.8. And I've also got a matte layer which measures 9.5 centimetres by 13.8. So it just gives us a nice little border going round our card like so. So to start with, I am going to grab my ink pads. So we are going to use colour wise, so Saffron, Pear Pizzazz, Real Red and Pool Party. We're going to start with Pool Party as we're going to stamp onto our matte layer. Put that down, and in the stamp set you have these 3 little flowers together. You're going to use this twice, first with Pool Party and later with the So Saffron. So I'm just going to ink it up and I'm going to stamp it down quite randomly across kind of the upper centre of our card. I am just going to rotate the stamp a little bit. I need to re-ink my stamp. Let's just put one more there. So we just have kind of that tone on tone effect, which we all love. So from there, I'm going to do the rest of my stamping. So I'm going to stamp them leaves. Now, I'm being naughty and just rubbing out my hand to clean it because Sean is currently using my chamois as a plant pot holder. But that's another story for when we've moved, finally. So I'm grabbing some basic white even, and I'm going to stamp the flowers twice in So Saffron. And you're also going to want to stamp that big leaf here in the Pear Pizzazz ink. And then you're going to want to fussy cut them out as best you can. Now, if you know me, you know I like fussy cutting. Much prefer fussy cutting to die cutting. Don't ask me why. It's madness. But I'm sure I am not alone out there. Somebody else must be on the same wavelength as me, surely. So yeah, so to save time, once you've stamped them, you're going to want to fussy cut them out, but I've already gone ahead and done so because, you know, Blue Peter style. You're going to then want to grab another piece of basic white. So I'm going to give you like a little tip here. I'm going to unmount my stamps. So the Ladybird itself comes in 2 sections. So what I've done, got a scrap of basic white here. I have punched out the shape, and then all you're going to do is pop the 2 elements in to the shapes like so, so you know it's even, and then you can pick it up with your block, and you know then when you stamp it, you can punch it out in one go. It's that simple. However, I prefer to stamp it separately. Call me mad, but it is just my preference, especially when you're using multiple colours. I just think it's easier. So I'm just going to mount these on some clear blocks. Let's get some more basic white. And I'm using the Real Red. Now I chose to keep the ladybird spots. What colour? White. Instead of making them black. Don't ask me why, I just did. I think it looks better as white. But of course, we have got the coordinating dots should you wish to fill it in. So I'm just going to grab, that was silly, my trimmer, and trim this down. Like so. And then I can just feed it in, line it up, like so, punch it out. So there's little wings, and then the body is going to be in Memento. So the reason why I'm using Memento is it's a lot better for your clear stamps. Clear stamps do not like, or photopolymer stamps do not like stays on ink. So I'm going to try and get good coverage. Pop it down. Perfect. Even better than my actual one on the project. So then I'm going to pop him in and line him up. Him or her, I should say. It's pretty good. Pop him down. And there you have our ladybird ready to go. So I am going to actually mount the leaves up with some dimensionals. So I'm just going to pop a dimensional either side on the inner part of the leaf, on the wings, and pop that down like so. Now there might be a little bit hanging over, there's not, so that's good to go. Look at me using my scraps. Mother would be proud. So, before we attach the rest to our card, don't know what just made that noise. I'm going to grab some white baker's twine that we sell at Stampin. And I only wrapped it around once on my actual card, but I don't think it really has any bulk to it. So I'm going to wrap it round a couple of times, he says, just so makes more of an impact. Tie it through like so, and finish in a bow, which is not going to go right because I'm on camera. Make it smaller. Told you it wasn't going to go right. Just get my finger in, unravel it, pull it taut. It will do. And then just move it to where you want it. Or you could cheat and not wrap it round, I suppose. And do like a faux knot. So that's in. Let's just cut these off for now. And we'll readjust that later on. Still not happy with the positioning. That's slightly better. Pop it up. Like so. Wonderful. So then I can adhere. Gonna take a seat. All my elements onto the card. So I'm just gonna pop a dimensional in the three corners, if you like, of this leaf. And pop that on the left hand side. Then our ladybird is going to be 2 dimensionals high. So I'm grabbing 2 and I'm just going to fold one over onto the other. And grab that one, pop him on the back towards the left as you're looking at it upside down. And then pop him. That's hitting that bow. There. Like so. Now I don't have any liquid glue on there. So let me grab some. Love it when everything's at hand. Everything is currently put away and in place, which is wonderful. Although I've attached these with dimensionals, haven't I? Yeah. And I don't have any mini dimensionals to hand. So let's cut some in half of these big ones and pop them on the back. How do these fit with the little ones? Fine. Need some more. So in total, I did stamp them, I did. So in total, I did 5 little flowers. Looking back, you could do a lot more. And I think I probably would do more personally. But hindsight is a marvellous thing, hey? So let's take the backs off. And then I'm just going to begin to arrange it. So I use the rule of thirds in the fact that you want to create like a triangle with your accent pieces, which in this case are the flowers. Put these flowers behind little ladybug, or ladybird as we call them here in the UK. I feel like such a traitor sometimes. And when I refer to things in the American term, Sean's like, remember you're British. So let's pop him behind there. Let's try and sort this out a little bit. It's all wound up. And this is where a little bit of liquid glue comes in handy, because you can just apply the smallest amount, he says. To the top, so I don't get messy fingers. There we go. No one needs to know. Let's cut these tails down. He says, and let's knock that off. Just gonna get, don't you hate bows? Ooh. There we go, that will do. We're not gonna mess anymore. That's done. Now, I like an ink splot across the card. Now, I've got a very old water painter, which you can see is covered. He says, can't get the lid off, in white reinker. So I'm just going to gently just take my index finger and tap it down. Like so. If you want some big blotches, you can just go in and tap down, but honestly, just a little flicker makes everybody happy. And then I just leave it wet, but with the lid on, and that just keeps it from drying out, if I'm honest. Nice and simple. So you're gonna leave that to dry a little bit, because the Whisper White Rinker does take us a minute to dry, and you're gonna stamp your sentiment. So just take in basic white again, and your Memento ink, which I've lost. Here it is. I took the little hello from that stamp set, and I'm just going to ink that up and almost create like a little tag with it. Okay, so stamp that down, and I've lined the edge, or the bottom edge of the stamp with the edge of a card in order to make sure it's straight. He says he tries hard. And then it's just a matter of bringing in your trimmer. I've got a bit of glue there, so I'm going to rip that off. Before an accident happens, I'm going to pop that into my trimmer. I'm going to line the top of the word with that edge. If I do this with that edge here, so I can see that it's straight. Give it a little cut, like so. Paper snips are here, and I'm just going to cut that down ever so slightly, and I'm going to create like a little tag shape by just snipping off the corners like so. Add a dot of liquid glue, and then I sat mine underneath my ribbon, poking out like so. Voila. And then all you've got left to do is attach it to your card base. So I'm bringing in my card base and pop in some dimensionals on the back, like so. Around that ribbon, and then in the middles. The more dimensionals, the better, I always say. But nevertheless, pick off the backs. Place that down. Oh, that's knocked off. Probably wait until it's dry. But pop that down. Line up the top two corners where you want them, he says, and then go in for a third corner, and then you can drop down the last one, and that's how you can make it straight. Now you could add some pretty rhinestones to it. I've packed mine as we're in the middle of moving, so I don't have them available. But that is, let's just pop that under there, today's card. So I hope you enjoyed today's card. If you have any questions or any feedback, please pop them in the comments below, where I'll be happy to help. All the items used and links to my online store are also available if you are in the UK, France, Netherlands, Germany or Austria and would like to shop for Stampin' products. Other than that, I'll see you later. Bye.